Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 19th of July. So before we look at the markets as ever, let's have a look at the news. We just had some coming in, so let's just run through the news here. Yesterday first, of course, inflation in Canada, year-on-year data higher than expected, all higher than expected there, which puts more pressure on further increases for the Reserve Bank of Canada. The Bank of Canada even, the month-on-month figure was the only thing that actually fell slightly there to 0.1. So other figures over the top there. Core retail sales in the US and retail sales as a whole, both well underneath the expectations there. So the estimates way out for their retail sales done that. Industrial production also minus 0.5. Not at all bullish for the US on that basis. However, there's still some hawkishness from the speakers, or has been. New Zealand inflation, well, still slightly higher than expected, quarter on quarter, 1.1. UK inflation just came out 7.9 versus 8.2, just falling slightly. Core figures, I'm just looking through the different core figures here. Got two different figures sitting through there, but generally most of the inflation numbers were under expectation. The PPI, Producers Price Index, that's also lower, so lower than expected here. This afternoon we just got the housing starts, building permits. They might have a little bit more impact than they have for a long time. Gradually, as an economy starts slowing a little bit here, and they're looking for the sort of consumer confidence. Effectively, this is a big sign of it. If people are staying still, staying put, not buying houses, that's a big chunk of the economy that's being affected. And well, there you go. Something to watch out for later. Really a quiet ending to the week we got coming up, but anyway, today not a lot there then. So let's look at the markets, and starting off looking at the dailies here. So yesterday, a third day in a row of this hardly going anywhere price action. We did just pitch out the highs, but not managed to maintain anything there, and a small sell-off so far relatively, but the weekly pivot starting to look attractive. On this, we've got the divergence no doubt over the top here. It's broken now the level between the two highs, and that just makes me wonder if we're going to see a bit more of a sell-off. Wouldn't just jump onto the case at the moment though. This is pre 8 o'clock. We do get these moves. It's taken out these lows, as I've said. It's taken all three lows out there, maybe just a bit of a tester. Barely moving. Again, the pivots still relatively pinched together here, so we've got to sort of take a little bit less notice of them. That's not to say they won't still act as support and resistance, but they have so far. But just starting to wonder a little bit more if we're going to see a little bit more dollar strength coming through. Morning, Mike. The pound dollar, well, there's the reaction on the hourlies to that inflation data. Let's just look at the dailies here. Already coming off a little bit more than the euro had been. Yesterday we saw the down day there, and well, a more solid day already, but again, just bear in mind that we could see some sort of retracements, even if it's going to continue in that mode. We could see some retracements post 8 o'clock. If it just starts going and keeps going, well, maybe that's it for the day, but it might have already had the reaction you're going to see there. Okay, so not a lot to do on the first two currencies there at the moment. Dollar yen, now this is one that's starting to soften, not helped by the governor, the Bank of Japan. They're coming on and talking yesterday afternoon, suggesting there's no need to change things, and that's not really what the market was wanting or expecting. and where we saw a reaction almost straight away, and we're seeing a continuation here now with the dollar strengthening a little bit. The question is, can it break this weekly pivot, or are we going to see a reaction off it and continuation? But methinks we might see a bit more of a continuation to the upside. Looking at the lower time frames on it, then you just got high lows coming through in the near term. It is a bit of an ascending channel that we've got there, so if it was to roll over, well, potentially we'd have more downside. But personally, just looking at what's happening there, do wonder if it will start breaking through these levels. Right, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar continuing this sort of move to the downside here. It's sitting in this sort of rather large channel. It's expanded channel that anyway, it's looking like it's good for the south side again. Lower highs, really messy old week we've seen so far. It's broken through now though this morning, and just looking that bit softer. Not much else to say on that. It is looking soft, but it's getting retracements to sell into. But might be the better one of the better ones, that in the New Zealand. US dollar CAD. Well, we saw sort of signs of strength there yesterday. It ended up closing a bit on the stronger side of things. Had divergence here. It's just not quite yet taken the lows out between the two highs. That would suggest further potential for downside. Short while ago, where you can see the bar was flying up here and it moved up really quickly, and just like the euro that's pulling back, this is pulled back quite quickly, and this is the risk of getting into a market before the volume's really there. A breakdown of these prior lows here, I'd be more on the bearish side. It hasn't yet hit the pivot, so it could run on a tad further. At the moment, still looking, say, solid, but potential for the downside. New Zealand dollar, well, this is downside for the wrong reasons here. This is weakening, just as the Aussie is seeing the sell coming back here, and lower highs coming through. Already had quite a chunk of a move today. In fact, if you was to measure today's range and pop it on, it's probably at least the average true range there already. So looking to jump aboard that might be a bit difficult. Dollar Swiss, well, never write off the dollar Swiss. It's just continuing to yesterday, another new low there, near term lows being taken out. It's probably 90% of retail traders are long at this at the moment still, somewhere close to that, yet it's still chopping around. At some point they could be right for a while, and when you look at the big money, the big sentiment, that is also long. Retail traders are long, but the market's still moving southbound. This just isn't being trusted. The dollar's not trusted at the moment. The Swissy seems to be the place of safety. Euro yen, let's just look a couple of majors that I follow quite a bit here. So it's continued on its way up north. It looked pretty good on the sell side yesterday at one stage. It done everything and lined up, and only to the news from Japan didn't help things at all there, and it turned on the dime. As you can see, pretty much that was the bar, and off it went, and pushed up there. But nothing there at this stage. Risky looking market with its move over here. Will be showing us divergence on some of these indicators. Anyway, looking best avoided at this stage, although yes, we could see a continuation now, or more of a continuation to the upside. Other pairings I was looking at, the Euro Aussie, still looking at this, looking for the break above. Now it's had a nibble a short while ago, this morning there, a few hours ago now. It's had a little nibble above and broken that neckline, pulled back in. If it can get back up above there, that might be the trigger. I was really waiting for a breakout retest and go, but it's effectively broken out, pulled back within, and if it can go this time, that might be it. So as I say, looking still to see if that can push on upwards. The Aussie is looking in a bit of a state, and it's even the big money's out of the Aussie. The euro is more favoured. Other pair I was looking at was the Aussie CAD. Now I think this is already, yeah, it's already gone on its journey effectively. Yeah, completely gone. Rolled over pretty much into yesterday. Went sideways a lot of the time. It's gone through the Asian session here, but there we go. Well, there's not a great deal there. There's a few that might turn course a little bit. As I said, be wary of this euro just jumping aboard on the short side. It is still one of the more favoured currencies with the big money, and technically, well, it's just had a little blip there, and which could later on still be or still could end up on a positive day. So risky old things there to be doing, some of them risky anyway for sure. Looking at, actually let's look at gold here on the dailies here. So gold yesterday managed to make some distance, a bit of fear coming into the markets maybe, and seeing gold coming up. As everything else looked a bit iffy, gold's made a bit of a push for it, and certainly looking more positive. We've got two higher lows running through there now. Again, we're getting a bit of a retrace at the moment, but a continuation might yet be on the cards. Oil too saw a move yesterday, saw the retracement continue there, but it's flagging on the little 4-hourly picture here, and still in my book got potential for further upside technically. Where it sits at the moment, a bit flaggy as ever. The 2 o'clock movements on the Western Texas are amongst the best here. It pushed off yesterday at 2. Looking okay at the moment, but we may need to wait and see for more upside on that. Now the markets, the equity markets, for those that are following those, just come to this dailies. Still looking bearish then. CSI 300, nothing much to add there. Saw that horrible channel. The Nikkei has got above its monthly pivot there, looking more positive again. I was questioning whether after yesterday whether it would roll back, but it's chosen on the upside, which, I mean, you look at the big trends and it's largely to the upside. It's just this double top, etc. It's messed it up a little. Nifty 50 just continues. It's slightly up on yesterday, even though it's gapped up and pulled down, but so far up on yesterday. Aussie 200 looking a little bit more positive here as well. Seeing the data coming out this morning, it's the weaker Aussie may make it a bit more attractive, but certainly looking a bit more positive there. S&Ps, well, they just keep on going. As I said many a time, I wouldn't be betting against these. They're just pushing, and they're pushing again, and started off this morning quite well. Dow Jones again yesterday, solid day, breaking out properly from the resistance there, and looking quite solid. And the Nasdaq, no difference there. So we're just seeing this continuation of these US markets pushing and pushing. The DAX up this morning at the moment. If I can bring the DAX in, there we go. It's up this morning. It's got this sort of, don't know what you'd call it. It looks like a head and shouldery sort of pattern there that's trying, I mean, it's a short-term flag that was there. It's a bit ugly, but trying its best to continue pushing up and still remain more bullish on it than anything. So I wouldn't be looking for the short side. I know some will do because it's around some tops, but still looking quite bullish to me. The FTSE Well, it's making a bit of a recovery. It's one of these, it's a bit of a laggard here, but looks like it's trying to make a bit of a recovery. I'm really just looking at the trend across these. Oh, there we are. Bang into it at the moment. Question is, can it get above it? And then the 50 isn't. We've got the pivot and the 50, so it's got quite a bit of resistance potential if it can break through there. But the lower expectations of the next interest rate increase, it's expected now to be 1/4, not 0.5%, is possibly helped this quite a bit this morning. Okay, finally, just for those that follow crypto markets, it's just a quick look, bigger picture. Bitcoin still not really going anywhere, up a bit this morning, but these currencies are just, these cryptocurrencies, really not doing too much, are really in the doldrums overall. I mean, to be fair, so are the Forex, normal Forex pairs, and we're seeing a similar bit of action in these. There's nothing here. What's Ripple doing relatively? Ripple, okay, it's sort of continuing its path a little bit. Still not even pushed beyond its high that it put in on the news there. The longer it takes to get there, well, it may just never get there. It's at its body highs at the moment. Had a reaction to that. I just think we'll see more consolidation on a lot of these markets. Most of them at the moment, they're not showing anything different. So there we go. There's my outlook there at the moment. Flat, with more flatness. Right. I wish you a great day's trading. I'm off. I'll catch you later. I'm into the room now. See you later. Bye for now.